Hey, what's up? This is Greg Helbeck, and welcome to this week's REI deal breakdown. Today, I'm going to talk about 18 Massachusetts Avenue in, where is that one? In Congers, New York. I'm looking at my spreadsheet here. Yes, Congers, New York. This is a Rockland County deal. The way that I found the deal was from my buddy Richie Pace, and the way that he found the deal was from direct mail. I think he mailed the tax delinquent list or something like that. So anyway, that's how the deal was found, basically through direct mail. Richie called me up. He knew I was heavily involved in distressed properties, like how to deal with title issues and crazy people. So long story short, guy was selling his house and he needed to get rid of it because he was going to the tax auction and he didn't want to lose the house, and he didn't know where to go. So there was a little bit of a dilemma here because he was not going to be able to get out in time before the auction were to happen. So he needed a rent back. So we originally tried to wholesale the deal, and we were about to wholesale it for like 80 grand or something crazy, but then the buyer ended up bailing. So we said, let's just buy this thing ourselves. So we actually paid cash for the property, closed on it. I think we bought it for 180. I think something like that. Yeah, I think we bought it for like 180. We got a smoking deal on this thing because he, quite frankly, the guy had to sell. And in order for us to take that risk, we needed to make a good profit. So we bought the house for 180. We ended up taking the thing down and just sitting on it for a while. And we waited for the seller to get his footing and pretty much locate an apartment. Actually, no, we didn't do that. We bought the house. We signed a rent back with the seller, and he had like, I think 90 days or 120 days to get out, or else he was going to forfeit the money he left in escrow as like a penalty, because if he squatted, we would have been in trouble. Anyway, so the guy was in the property and he was looking for a new place. We immediately put the house on the market as is with him living inside, and we found a buyer for like $300,000. So we made a huge rip on the thing. And the buyer was going to close occupied, and then the buyer didn't want to close occupied, so then the buyer closed vacant. So we had to wait for the seller to leave, and, we closed. It took a couple months. Long story short, it was well over a six-figure profit. Obviously, I didn't net that because I had a partner on it, but it was a very good profit to me, to say the least. And here are some lessons that I will share with you on this deal. Number one, just don't paint yourself in a wholesale box. If your only strategy is wholesaling, a lot of your leads you're going to just fumble, because this deal made a lot more sense to buy, close on, put on the MLS, and sell. We made over six figures in profit on this thing, and it's because we closed on it, right? If we were just relying on this wholesale buyer, we wouldn't have been able to do this deal, and ultimately would have screwed the seller, because if we promised him we were going to buy his house and we didn't have the money to buy the house, we would have been in trouble. So be able to close on properties. Number two is you got to understand in this scenario that the reason we made a lot of money is, number one, we bought the house at a really cheap price, but number two, this was in a smoking hot area. This was in Congers, New York, 30 minutes from New York City, right off the Palisades Parkway. Like, amazing location for a commuter, and location matters, right? So if we were going to do this deal way upstate, it probably wouldn't have made a lot of sense unless we got it for free. But because we bought this thing in such a good area, Rockland County is like New York City suburbs 101. There's always going to be demand for property there. There's always going to be demand for product there. So you want to make sure when you're buying properties, you want to be in an area where the market moves fast. And in Clarkstown, the market moves super fast. So that was another good lesson. Make sure you understand the areas. And when you buy a deal at a cheap price and you're in a good area, you're going to make a lot of money. Hopefully you got value from this. If you did, if you could subscribe to my channel and like the video, it would mean a lot to me. If you're interested in getting coached by me, head over to bookacallwithgreg.com. Once again, that's bookacallwithgreg.com. If you're interested in learning how to do direct mail like a ninja, so you can find deals like this, head over to directmailclass.com. And if you have a deal like this, you want to JV with me, whether you want to wholesale it to me or you want to wholesale it together or whatever, send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com, and I will see you on the next video.